Sing Joe, everybody. Welcome back. You're watching Vietnam Steve, and I've got a real good one for you today. I've ducked into Saigon, and I thought I'd just tell you a few things about the airport here that might help you when you're transiting through. So I landed at 5:35 in the morning at the international airport, and I need to go through customs. I need to pick up a bag, and I then need to navigate my way to the domestic airport. So I then have to check in at the domestic airport, load my bag into the next process, and wait for my flight. So it's a relatively easy process, but landing into Ho Chi Minh City is confusing for the best of us because it's quite a hectic sort of a place. And so I don't want you to get lost. I didn't film where I was walking because I was loaded up with my bag, etc. But it's fairly easy to explain to you because the domestic airport over here on my left is only 400 metres from the international, which I can see over there in front of me. So let's have a look at those two. So I'm sitting having a coffee at the moment, and that building with the domed sort of roof over the top of the little trees there is the international. So I've come from there, I've walked along the footpath with my suitcase, and I've ended up at the domestic airport, which is just over here, and checked myself in. I'm flying on Vietjet today. I like to throw a bit of adventure into my life, and I have to say it was a relatively seamless experience. Got on in one end, got off at the other end, no interruptions, slept for 6 or 7 hours, and here we are. So if you do have to do a domestic connection when you get into Ho Chi Minh City, it's going to be pretty straightforward. Oh, I just lost a couple of years off my life there. The lady and gentleman behind me were sweeping under my chair. We like it to be clean here, and I thought it was a rat, so jumped out of my skin. So got off the plane. The plane lands out in the south 40 acres of Ho Chi Minh Airport, and they have these little buses that come along and get you. So it's a bit of a process getting off the plane. In fact, it took me I landed at 5:35 and I hit the immigration queue at 6:10, so it took 35 minutes to get from the plane to the queue. We got on the little bus, and needless to say, they needed more than a couple of buses, and so I was on the second one. But when I got to the immigration hall, of course, a lot of flights had been coming in before me, and so it was packed to the rafters. So the trick there is to get onto the queue as quick as you can. Now Saigon has a fairly good, Ho Chi Minh City has a fairly good process because they put you into one queue, and then no, that doesn't take you to the stamp man. That takes you to the 7 or 8 queues that are behind each of the counters, but at least you're in some semblance of order. My cunning plan the last couple of times is to get on, when I go through the zigzags and I eventually get to choosing one of 7 queues, I generally try and choose one on the right hand side, and the last one, and then after that there's 15 more empty ones. Because what can happen is they can open up another one and move some of your line across, and that's exactly what happened today. So I got to within about 10 of the counter, and they opened up another line, so I stepped across to that other line to improve my position, but not as fast as some of the Vietnamese here, and then I ended up being about 20th from the counter. So you got to be fast, but I had the right planning in place. You're going to need to show your visa. They're going to stamp your passport and give you an exit date, and then you're free to go. Once you get downstairs, my bag was already waiting. I didn't have to pull it off the turnstile. And then you got to go through I've got nothing to declare. So you go through the nothing to declare lane, but they sometimes want to x-ray every bag and sometimes they don't. I generally just try and barge through, being a large gentleman, and if they want to x-ray me, they can pull me up and x-ray me. I have found in Hanoi they don't x-ray you, you just walk through. They seem to only x-ray Vietnamese actually in Hanoi, but I have found in Ho Chi Minh City here they were x-raying everybody. There was 8 people looking at the screen, so they had like a stadium behind the screen. So there's the screen of bras and undies and Tic Tacs going through, and there was 3 people, 4 people, and maybe another 4 people. So more than 8 people queued up looking at the screen. None of them moved to do anything. Just told you to put your bag on the belt and send it through. Immediately you come out of there, it's telephone time. So I'll just take a breath and I'll come back and tell you about telephone time on arrival in Ho Chi Minh City. So I'm not planning to tell you all the ins and outs of getting a SIM plan here. Everybody's done that before, and you're not diminished, so you should be able to figure out how to buy a SIM card if you can figure out how to buy an air ticket. But when you come here, there's a lot of people in the airport selling different types of SIM cards. I never stop there. I have a SIM card. I bought it once, so I never have to buy another SIM card. I live here. But the SIM situation here is pretty good. There's some big networks. You need to research what they are before you come. I'm on one called Mobifone. That sorts me out. I think, I have no idea what I pay. I think it's about $6 or $8 a month US, and I get 5 or 6 gigabytes per day. I've never run out of gigabytes, but I have run out of months, obviously. If you forget to pay it, they cut you off. So you get a lot of usage. Most people need about 1 gigabyte per day, so 5 or 6 is a lot. You can stream to your heart's content. I think, if you see one in the airport that's around that price, buy it, because we're all shopping on price. We're not shopping on whether it's ABC brand or XYZ brand. We're in Vietnam, we want a phone that works, and as long as they tell you it works, they'll set it up for you. Alternately, once you get to a shopping centre, you'll be able to find a SIM place that sells you SIMs. So I don't worry too much about SIMs. As soon as I landed, I switched the data usage off on my home country SIM and turned it across to Mobifone. So my data I'm using here today to send this to you is Mobifone, and my home phone is on simply just to take calls. If anyone calls me at home, it comes straight through to Vietnam. So that's about it. The other thing that you might want to get is a Grab. Now, I haven't had to get a Grab from the international, but here at the domestic it's pretty straightforward, because you will come out of the domestic airport, walk straight across the road. There's a Highlands here. If you go to the left of the Highlands, but not left of the building, just left of the Highlands, there's a alleyway through to the car park, and all the Grabs are out there. So select your Grab, it'll tell you to go to row D, row C or something, and then just walk across. Don't stop at the Highlands for a coffee, just keep going and get your Grab. That is definitely the cheapest way to get around here in Ho Chi Minh City. And sometimes I get 5 or 6 Grabs a day, so I love it. All right, it is an early morning. I'm going to have a coffee. I've got there's a few people here watching me, wondering what the hell I'm doing. So I'm going to have a chat to them now. But stick with me. I will just show you a couple of things, and then I'll come back and wrap. So all I wanted to show to you today was the simplicity of landing into Ho Chi Minh City and traversing across to a domestic connection. So you might be going to Da Nang, or you might be going up to Hai Phong, and so it's pretty easy. You come from those circular roofed buildings over there, back down to where I am here, get yourself checked in as quick as possible, and then of course sample a great Vietnamese coffee immediately on arrival. Interestingly, here in Ho Chi Minh City, probably, look, I'd rate it as the second best city in Asia, but the coffee here is 70,000 dong, and when I buy the same coffee in my hometown, it's 45,000 dong. So there's a bit of raping and pillaging going on here at the Highlands. But, you know, everyone's got to make a living, and good luck to them. So look, if you did come out of the domestic terminal, international terminals to the right, you'd come straight out across the crosswalk here. You'll notice Highlands on the right, and you'll go down this little alleyway here to where the grabs are hidden away. And on your phone it'll tell you go to row B, C or D or something like that. So round the corner and across the road over there. Through there, I'm not going to go through there because I've got other things to do, but through there is where you get your grabs, and the boys will help you out over there. So nice and easy to find. Looks like a nice breakfast place here as well. I'll have to try that next time. All right, thanks everybody for tuning in for this short one. It's just to let you know that I'm back in the land of the Rising Dragon, and we're going to have video art, VART, coming out as often as I possibly can, but will be no more than once a week because I've got a few other things to do here, packing my bags. But I really felt like I'd landed at home when I landed, and so I'm going to have some exciting things to show you over the coming month or two. Stay frosty, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.